We are on. Hi,
My
guys.
friend, my friends, hello. We are live with, well, actually, we're pre-recording. Michael Songs and Maria, thank you for being here today. Interview follow-up series. So super cool. There's so much to cover. Let's take a deep breath and pace ourselves. How are we doing this morning?
Absolutely. We're doing fantastic. I mean, getting the chance to spend the day here with Wago and Rachel, we're super pumped.
Yeah, we're like
We're
so
pumped too.
excited. We've been looking forward to this. And hi, everybody out there in internet land, too.
Hello. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of stuff to cover today. First and foremost, being able to play music and then make music. We hear that we have an EP dropping.
We do. We have a brand new EP. It's our first one as a solo person. Michael Songs, Where We Belong. We just finished it. There are physical copies available, and you can order those on our merch site. And you can go to michaelssongsofficial.com. It'll take you there. There's some buttons and things you click to get around.
Physical
Right on. I
copies,
think.
like a CD.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
excellent. Very cool.
You can also get Michael Song's merch,
You
like
sure
this
can. That's
cup.
a beautiful mug and shirt you got there, Rachel.
Oh yeah, do you
It
have the shirt on
is.
there?
I do have the shirt on today. This is a Michael Song's Sunday Set Live shirt,
Excellent.
which you can win if you
Hang out. Yeah,
participate.
participate. Hang out.
Be a
uh,
participant. But you guys can talk about that a little bit later. We're super psyched to see you both too, Maria and Michael Songs. Um, I've been following Michael Songs and setting my alarm on, you know, what is it, every Sunday
every
morning at
Sunday.
6 a.m., 7 a.m. when the time changes. But I've been setting my alarm to make sure that I'm there for Michael Songs and Maria. But Wago and Michael, you guys had kind of interacted before all that. How long have you guys known each other? And can we kind of kick that off and then let you
Yeah, I just
get
was
into?
inspired by Michael. Do you remember our story of just meeting up and you kind of explaining to me? I asked questions about how YouTube and how you're doing this and how if you're enjoying it, and it kind of led to an interview series.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have technically known each other for about 2 years. We were, Wayo and I don't know who stumbled across whose videos first, but we just started kind of commenting on YouTube to each other. And then I started, Wago started asking questions about the live streams because he saw that I was doing live streams, and then I would tune in for all of his tutorials and stuff. I would check out, and so that went on for a while. And I remember that first interview that we did, which was a year ago. That was July 2nd of 2024. But previous to that, it was 2023. The first time Wago asked me about an interview, and he was like, "How's Halloween?" And then just life just kept being busy. I'm like, "We'll do something. We'll do something." And it just kept being busy, busy, busy. So like, it was almost a full year before we did that interview that we had first
Wow.
talked about doing an interview. Yeah.
Yeah. And the
Wow.
questions that we posed then are still as important as today is why we got into doing this. What do we do beforehand? If somebody has not watched the first interview series, they're still going to want to know who Michael is. So why did we get into music? Have you been doing this your whole life? What inspired you? Is that still staying the same since the last time we spoke?
Yeah, so I've always, even before I knew they were songs, I've always been writing songs. So, like anything, a line, a phrase, hearing someone's story, seeing something, hearing something, being somewhere, triggers these stories to happen in my head. And I can picture every aspect of them. And it's not always from my perspective. Sometimes I'm a character in whatever thing I'm picturing. And then I used to just like write them down. They would live in my head, and sometimes I would write them out as poems or like later songs. And I always wanted to play music. And when I was, I forget what age, but my sister started getting piano and accordion lessons. So I asked my parents if I could get lessons, and they said no. Um, I could not. They could probably only afford to send one kid, is probably what the real scenario is. But as a child, you're like, they're depriving me. So I
Oh, yeah.
thought that was the only way to be a musician, was that you had to be sent off somewhere, and someone had to bestow upon you music.
Mm.
But a few years later, my cousin, and he's a phenomenal musician as well, he started playing music. And I was like, well, wait a minute. And he started writing his own song. I'm like, he didn't, as far as I knew, he didn't go off to some fancy school. I'm sure maybe he took some lessons or something, but it was like another person that I was like, I knew him before he was a musician. Now all of a sudden he's playing guitar and writing songs. So I was like, wait, you can just do it? You can just
Mm.
decide to do it and do it? So like from that point on, I'm like, I'm just gonna do it. So I would just like any instrument I found. My mom had a guitar in the house. and it was missing the tuning key on the E string, so you had to use vice grips to tune the E string.
Yeah.
And I just started writing songs on that, and then we went away to the shore one year, one of the last sort of family vacation kind of things we were able to do. They were always small little trips, but we went down to Wildwood, and I had been playing my mom's guitar, so I brought it, and she took me to a music store in Wildwood to get a music book because she was like, you should learn how to play. So we got this book. We picked one out. We talked to the guy there. We got some picks. We came back to the room, and I don't really like the beach. I mean, the beach is nice for other people. I enjoy it at night, but I'm not a beach guy. So during the day, my brother and he would go out to the beach, and I sat in that motel room that we were in with this book. And the whole book had all this information that I didn't understand, but in the center was this fold out photograph of a hand playing all the different chords.
Oh, wow.
So
There
I
you go.
took that out, I chucked the book, and I just
Yeah.
sat there for those couple days learning how to play everything. So it's like, oh, I learned an A minor shape, and then I learned
Yeah.
the C shape, and then I just practiced going from A minor to C, and then I learned the G shape, and then I practiced going from A minor to C, from A minor to G, and I just did that for 3 days. And when I came back, I told my friends, I'm like, I know how to play guitar now, like. And that was it. I
Yeah.
just just kept going, and that like inspired me, like pick up any instrument, figure out how to do something on it, and just continue doing it. Like music's amazing. So.
Absolutely. I mean, in a nutshell, you just described the whole process of teaching. You just go back and forth, and the more time you put on it with a
Mhm.
single idea, the better you get at it.
Mhm.
At that point in your life, I mean, still the same kind of question. What were your musical influences besides just the family, friends around you? Did you like what was your first show? Did that inspire you to go out and do more live gigging, I guess? How long did it take till you got to that point after
Yeah.
learning the music aspect?
Thinking of first live show is a tough one. I can tell you that. So when I was younger, I listened to a lot of like Motown and R&B, and while all my friends and siblings were trying to get me into like louder rock popular music, they're like, listen to this, listen to that. I was mostly listening to like Kool and the Gang. I liked Lionel
Yeah.
Richie. I liked
Yeah.
like just all and different Billy Joel. Like I liked all these things and it seemed to me it was like later looking back analyzing I was drawn more to the things that were focused on the songs. Motown and R&B music is phenomenal. I love the way that moves, but their focus always seems to be on the song. Like what
Mm.
best delivers this song, whereas a lot of the other music seemed to be like listen to how fast and how loud I can play. And the
Yeah.
Hmm.
songs were just like, my friends would play albums for me, and I can appreciate any kind of music, but I would listen to them and go, well, all of the songs on this album sound the same,
Mm.
like they might be in a different key or something. I'm like, that's not really what I'm into. So I would like pick and choose songs I liked from all the other music that they shared with me. But as I developed my own thing, I found WXPN, the radio station I talk about often. I found it on a radio, old alarm clock radio, just sliding the dial back and forth.
Yeah, oh,
And
yeah.
I found two stations, 88.5 and 90.1. 90.1 was jazz. And when I
Yeah.
heard jazz, the drums that go with jazz, that just sparked something in me. And I was like, wait, you can do that? So I just
Yeah.
listened to jazz. So I sat there, I just picked up every jazz record I could get my hands on. So, like, I was into Louis Armstrong, Charlie Parker, John Coltrane. And then I would turn around and listen to Ani DeFranco and Bob Dylan. Like, so I just kept mixing, like, wherever I could learn something new musically or instrumentation wise, and then also wherever I could learn something new about song structure and song perspective and
Hmm.
backstory and all that, like, and just kept combining all that through influences. So
Yeah.
that's
That's
kind of
the
what I
yeah.
did.
All the
I
while
love Ani
training.
DeFranco. Big
Yeah.
Ani DeFranco
Very
fan
cool.
myself.
Training the ear, listening to different artists do their thing, recognizing chordal progressions. That's you don't think about it when you're younger doing these things, but every time you have a favorite band,
Mm-hmm.
we're doing exactly what you just said. That's a lot of people that play a certain type of music enjoy the process of songwriting too, I find as well. Your particular style came out of like we were chit chatting before we started recording this. Like it's hard to put your finger on what your favorite band is, or maybe like favorite food, like blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Would there be a group or an idea or a genre, or a group of individuals that you listen to before you start writing stuff, or or do you follow like a certain Sir Elton John? Would you be would you be closer to following something that one of the greats did, or do you have an amalgamation of different ideas that you work from?
Yeah, I think of it much like what you described as teaching or practicing, right? Like I do that by listening to music and by working on music. When it goes to writing songs, all of that shuts off, and all of your input, much like they talk about jazz, learn everything, and then when you go to play, chuck the rules out the window. So
Yeah.
anytime I go to write a song, just something triggers. Sometimes it's just an energy, and I'm like, I have to turn this energy into the story. Sometimes someone says a line, and just from one single line, I picture this entire person going through a situation in life, and then I just quickly try to deliver that in a story format, and it all happens simultaneously. But then I'm like, what? I just start fiddling around on the guitar until something I do, like literally while I'm writing lyrics, I'm fiddling on the guitar,
Huh.
and then all of a sudden something I do sounds like the way the song feels. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I'll hit a chord and go, well, that is the mood of this person. So let me
Yeah.
start there,
Love
and
it.
then
That's
it
kind of
just
your
comes out.
anchor.
That's a
Yeah.
great creative process.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Would you care showing us a song from that creative process? We'd love to hear you play.
Sure, absolutely.
Excellent.
Yeah, I can start off with so the song that opens the EP is 18 Wheels. It's kind of a fan favorite around here. I've had a few people play that song with me and learn it. And it was a song challenge last year from WXPN, the radio station. Last year, June 1st, we signed up on the radio. They said your prompt is summertime. And for me, this suit is not a gimmick. I wear a suit every single day. So summertime, I'm wearing a suit. So I thought, like, what is a different perspective that I can write from? So I pictured a truck driver. We have a lot of truck drivers in our family. So I wrote the song in like 2 hours from the perspective of a truck driver in the summertime. It was 18
Excellent.
wheels.
18 wheels. Give us a second to get you all set up.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's getting warm, and the road seems longer, and there's more traffic on the interstate. And I'm coming on, getting up at 3 a.m. I got 16 hours ahead of me. Engine idling in the parking lot. Ice-filled coolers, back seats overstuffed. And I'm all alone in the cab with the radio. And the engine hum, summer ain't the same for everyone. Me
Hey,
There you go. That's 18 minutes.
right on.
Great song.
Yes, yes.
And a fan favorite. I noticed
Yeah.
also that you have a little pop-up where all of your song titles come up on the screen.
Yeah.
18 wheels right there. For
We
folks that
do.
ever are wondering, when they see
Mhm.
you, you always have that on your Sunday Set Live, thanks to the
Absolutely.
wonderful production of Maria.
Yeah.
Aw.
So that's another little Maria magic moment whenever we're playing. Yeah, she pops the song title up here, and that way, if you hear something you like and you're unfamiliar with it, you can catch the title right there. And the next time on a Sunday Set Live, or if you see me anywhere on a live stream or in person, you can ask for that song by name.
Especially when you get that Michael Songs earworm and you want to know what it is, what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah,
They happen.
absolutely.
I wake up with them.
Excellent.
So
But yeah,
do
that
I.
one's a channel favorite. Channel favorite. Do you have any? I mean, when you write so many songs, do you have a favorite that you enjoy playing that is just like your newfound favorite, or an oldie that you just it's closest to your heart generally?
Yeah, so it cycles a lot. I'll have and Wago, I'm sure that you have a similar thing. Like sometimes there's songs that are a favorite because you feel proud that you like wrote something that you think is really good, and then sometimes there's ones that are your favorites because they're just always a joy to play, and
Mm.
sometimes things become favorites because people keep asking for them, and then that makes you start to enjoy playing it more than you did before.
Eh,
But currently, I would have to say I have a tie. Um, there's a song called Dissolving that I really like the structure of, and a lot of people seem to enjoy that song and ask me about it. And then Sly, An Itch in Time, which is also on the EP. That's a song that we wrote about an experience that we had with a fox. And it's
mhm.
from the fox's perspective. And that song, I wrote it right after I wrote it. We wrote it leading up to the song challenge. It was a 10-minute song challenge. We do that every year when we do the WXPN 24-hour song challenge. That week beforehand, Marie gives me 10-minute song challenges. So 10 minutes to write a song. That time she said Fox or Foxes? Fox. So I wrote Sly in like 10 minutes and it just felt really good. But I wasn't sure, how good of a song it was. But the first couple times I played it on a Sunday set and around on some of the other shows, the response that I've gotten from that song um, just makes it feel that much better to me. So more fun to play, when you know other people are enjoying it as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
it instantly became my favorite. As soon as I heard it, it instantly shot up to my favorite. And,
Awesome.
I don't know, I always have this. When I was little, I had the Bambi record,
Mm-hmm.
like the soundtrack for Bambi, the movie. And, when the mother gets killed, I would listen to it and cry over and over and over again. And my mom would be like, Rachel, stop playing that record. You're making you cry. And I was like, but it feels good. And
Yeah.
I don't cry as much when I hear Sly.
Mm.
I won't cry today because I hope you play it. But it does make me tear up a little bit. And I know you
Yeah.
say the fox is okay, but sometimes, Michael, I'm the fox. Sometimes we all feel like
Yeah.
the fox.
I hear you. And yeah, and whether
Yeah.
the fox is okay or not, like sometimes melancholy can be a nice little blanket that we need to sit in
Oh,
for a
yeah.
little bit. And
Yeah.
and that feeling good is sometimes confusing to people to hear. Like it does feel good to be sad or be depressed or whatever those emotions are because you're just taking a moment to sit in that emotion.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
whatever it is, it's a good feeling. So yes, sad sometimes is a good feeling because you're connecting with those emotions.
Yeah,
And it's not a sad song, but but you're right, it is melancholy. It's
Right.
yeah.
one of those things where you're kind of facing things in life where like, I used to be Sly.
Mm-hmm.
And now what's happened. But
And it's a real treat on Sundays. We've already aforementioned you do the live show on Sundays at 12 Eastern time, right smack dab in the middle of the day. For other people like ourselves, it's early in the morning. However, you also have people that have been learning your songs. You play at venues around town. Can we do a little promotion here and put up some of the places you're going to play and talk about your next gig, if
Sure,
can?
absolutely. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Cool. Let's take a gander
Yeah,
at this. Everybody,
there we go.
uh, we have you. Let's see here. What's our next one we're going to have? You got your EP. Could go down to Michael
maybe
Songs, the website down below. And
Yeah, I
then
believe
today
the
is
when that's
26th
highlighted,
is the
yeah.
next
26.
show. Yeah.
Excellent. And you're doing original music always, and you
Mm-hmm.
highlight other people that you play with around town. Um, Do you have a favorite venue right now, or just one of your favorite places to play? It's just fun.
You know, there's two places that I play that I list as my favorite. One of them is Death of the Fox Brewery in Clarksboro, New Jersey, and the other one is Dr. Brewlittle's in Maple Shade, New Jersey.
Mm.
They're both fantastic places. There's a lot of good musicians that come out to them. And Death of the Fox, one of the things that I like about that one, sometimes there's just a room, right? Like it could be anything, a brewery or not. I walk into that room, and it's the first, technically, it's the second place we went to when I started going back out live again to do open mics. We did one place in Philly, um, World Cafe Live, that we're used to that venue. The bands had played there when we were younger. So we
That's
went,
also where the XPN studio
that's,
is.
and that's where WXPN, broadcasts out of. So we went
Oh,
there and we did one
cool.
open mic, and it was like, it was okay. But then the next week I was like, I'm going to try this Death of the Fox place. And just the way the room feels and sounds, I absolutely love being there and playing. So that's one that I go to. And then Dr. Brewlittle's, I got to give Jack a shout out. Jack is the owner of Dr. Brewlittle's. And we all know it's a struggle to run a business. We all know it's a struggle to also to be a musician, to get gigs. And he is one of those owners that just takes care of the musicians. He shows
That
such
means
a
so
respect
much.
to all of us and what we're trying to do. And there's a clear difference. There's owners that you can get along with, that you can be friends with, that will bring you in for gigs. And then there's Jack. And
Mm.
Jack loves you, reaches out to you to do your thing, tries to accommodate whatever it is that you're doing in his venue, and tries to get more people out there to support you. And it's one of those vibes you walk into it and you don't feel like it's, a job. You know what I
Yeah.
That's the
mean?
way it should be. I love hearing that.
Yeah, and you feel
And
like
what
you're
was the
in
name of
it
the
and with them.
establishment again?
That's
Yeah, because
Dr.
that's really what it
Brewlittle's.
is. Sorry.
Yeah, Dr. Brewlittle's in Maple Shade, New Jersey. You
Maple
you
Shade.
walk in there and you feel like you're part of the team. Like you and the brewery and the owner are doing this night together, right?
That's really cool.
Um, yeah.
Cool. We'll
Yeah.
grab some information, throw that in the overall description so people can support them as well because they support you. There's nothing greater than supporting people who support musicians. We are
Absolutely.
the world's troubadours of word, talking
Yeah.
about awesomeness, sometimes horrendous situations in the words and prose. Uh, yeah, modern day poet, man. Very, very cool. I'll tell you what, another kind of question for you. Do you have any sort of performances coming up that you're looking forward to organizing? Like any bigger events? Like, would you in the future be willing to go out of state, maybe?
We
Maybe in
have
for.
and we shall again. So I mean, in December, one of the big things that happened since the last time, we've had a ton of things that we've done since our last interview a year ago. But one of them was in December, we were going to Michigan. So we had a friend that was having a 90-year-old birthday party, and we went to celebrate his 90th year. Technically, it's your 91st year when you turn 90, but his 90th birthday. So we went there, and that's a family of musicians, and we hung out at the party and we played. But as soon as we knew we were going to Michigan, I looked up our good friends, Kurt and Justine Kasprick, and I was
Yeah.
like, how far are they going to be from where we're going to be? And it was 20 minutes. So we were like, we're getting together with Kurt and
Oh,
Justine. And then we asked them, because this is a big YouTube community, another really good friend of mine, musician, Folk and Blueser.
yeah.
We reached out and we said to Kurt and Justine, how close is Folk and Blueser to you guys? And they're like, Folk and Blueser's right around here. So we reached out to them as well. So we got to go to Michigan. We did this birthday party. We hung out. We played. It was a delightful time. We met a bunch of amazing people. The very next night, Kurt and Justine, phenomenal human beings, took us out to dinner. We spent like 3 or 4 hours just like chatting and hanging out with them. And then the very
Cool.
next night, Feisty Feather, who was Folk and Blues' wife, set up a gig for us. And
Cool.
it was on a Monday night at a venue. The sound guy came out. They set up the whole thing. The bar was supposed to be closed. They opened so that we could do this show. And Folk and
Wow.
Blueser played a set, and then we played 2 songs together, and then I did a set, and Justine was there, Kurt was there, and Maria was there. So that was an awesome experience, and that was, so we're happy to travel. We're happy to travel.
Excellent, excellent. And it's just fuel for the fire, right? I mean, you could write thousands of songs of experiences when you get out of your own bubble, I believe.
Hmm.
Do you find that traveling in your mind to places of the imagination and traveling abroad is one and the same? You could kind of see where you are, write songs about it, learn, meet new people, have experiences. How do you feel about that in your writing process?
Yeah, I mean, any new variable you can introduce to yourself is going to spark something. And one of my favorite things, the way that we used to travel, we spent 41 days on a trip one time in 2008 in Italy, Spain, and Morocco. And
Wow.
I'm an early riser. Maria's more of a late night person. What we used to do is every day that we were in a new spot, um, I would wake up and like walk around the town and find out like the layout of this town. I would get us some things to come back and make breakfast for when Maria was awake. I would meet people and do all that, and we just kept moving on from place to place to place. And I got to do that every time. And there's something about the sort of silence of morning.
I love
You
it.
go out, you see how the sun is hitting the buildings in a different town. You hear, what type of bird calls are happening. You see the few people that are up early in the morning. You're walking around chatting. That's my vibe. Um,
I
Hmm.
agree. That's magic
so
time right there.
yeah,
See
and
everything kind
and
of start to, everybody's
mm-hmm.
waking up, and all the structure and form to the cities starting to take place, and it's gonna be,
Exactly. And it's like it's a familiar setting,
Hmm.
but in different places. So like it feels
right.
different. So like I could probably do a songwriting exercise where I sit down and think of every city that we spent time in and write a song
Hmm.
from what the morning is like in that city. Like
Yeah.
because
Endless.
it's familiar because of the time of day. It's familiar because it's morning. It's familiar because it's quiet. It's familiar because it's birds, but it's different birds. It's different things you're looking at. The light is hitting different things. Depending on where you are, latitude, longitude, that
Yeah.
sun is coming in at a different angle. Like there's so many differences in familiarities.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Seems like it's a rewarding to be able to manage the business aspect and then the artist side of it as well. Seems as if you have a good aspect on how to have ratios. Is there any advice for somebody that you could give that's just starting out, how to manage your time so you're not overwhelmed by the whole rigmarole, if you will? Is that an old term? The whole
The
process,
rigmarole.
the whole
I'm
process of
familiar with
just.
the term, so it must be an old. Yeah, I mean, my best advice. This is not the easiest advice to follow, but everyone should get a Maria,
Yeah.
right? So if you have someone with you, right, the best part about some partnerships is having different strong suits.
Yeah.
So the things that I do well and exceed at are my jobs. The things that she does well and exceeds at, which far outweigh what my jobs are, she takes care of. So things like the live streams. Yes, I write the songs. Yes, I play the music. Yes, I'm on camera. Everything else is Maria. So like it.
Mhm.
So it's not just look at this amazing job she does because she's an amazing person and she's a perfectionist and she can make everything look fantastic and she can do anything that I ask for. Titles on the screen. She makes it happen.
She's amazing. She
But
really is.
it takes things off of your plate
Yeah.
so that when I go to perform live streams and in person, most of the time I get to just focus on delivering the music and the performance of the music because I know she's got my back for everything else. So that's a great piece of advice is to find help so that you're not yourself responsible for every single aspect because there's a lot. There's a lot.
I
Yeah.
can confirm there's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it depends on like what your goal is too, right? Like some people are the type of musician they like playing for their friends or their family, and it's a very casual thing, and they might not need as much support. Whereas other folks like us, like we're in it to win it. Like we want this to be our lives. We want to be a musician couple. I'm not a musician,
Hmm.
but like in the business couple.
Yep.
Hmm.
And especially nowadays with all the social media management that needs to happen and all of the online presence just in general with stuff, as well as well as
Yeah.
like all the digital and computery tech stuff that needs to happen, and the admin. I mean, we both have been doing this for a long time. That's how we met, 20 years ago. I was managing a band and I hired him as a sound guy for a gig. And so to see the evolution of the industry in that
Yeah.
time, and to see how much more work, even though people think it's easier now because you have so much more access to things, that's what makes it harder. So to have more than one person do it is
Yeah.
almost a necessity if you want to do it seriously. I mean, you guys can
Yeah.
probably attest to that as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
We
somewhat
have
overwhelming.
a lot of plates,
Yeah.
in the air, I guess. Balls in the
Yeah.
air, plates
Plates,
falling. They're
plates
not
in
really
there,
sure.
spinning plates,
That
and
describes
well,
really
the
well.
idea of the spinning plate really is it. Once you think that you've got like, I mean, Michael, you could attest. You write the songs, you understand the feelings, you put your emotion into it, you figure out what sounding you want, how all the instruments come in, and then you go to record. If you don't know how to record or you can't do it yourself, you have to hire somebody. That's an expensive process. If you have multiple people in the recording studio and you don't know how to chart songs or you don't know how to dictate what you're going to do for 10 minutes, it turns into 8 hours too much. So it pushes off what you're doing just for a recording idea. One
Yeah.
of the last people that I had worked with, my IT guy, said something very smart that stuck with me is like, fail fast.
Mm.
Have an idea, try to do it the best you can, fail fast. That has stuck with me. And that is really my burning drive for learning the internet, understanding what streaming sites are, how to interact with certain people, because it doesn't come naturally. And what inspires me about both of you is you've taken on something which to me seems impossible, and you're doing it. So it's very inspiring to to get down to the nitty gritty and go through that process. I
Do we
appreciate you
feel
guys.
that we've both been given, like, I'm not trying to pat ourselves on the back or anything, but it is
Go
odd
ahead.
that, thank you. It is odd that, like, both of our very specific set of skills uh, align with each other's needs
Yeah.
to make this happen. Like, I've taken instrument playing, musician stuff for like 10 different instruments. I know nothing about music. I know every good boy does fine, I think, and that I don't even know what that means. So like that's it. I can't tell if somebody's right-handed or left-handed on a
Right.
guitar. Like super
But
basic
you
stuff.
can produce
Yeah.
all of this stuff and like see you have this eye for design and how things work together and this, multimedia mind. And so again, like you create that. Maybe it's not musical, but it's definitely creative and it's beautiful what you
Thank
make.
you. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Thank you
And
very
you're right,
much.
it does really dovetail really well together. You guys are a great power couple, a great team together. I love watching you interact because you're always smiling and giggling and, always singing beautiful songs, one of our favorites is Because of You, which is about
Oh.
Maria. And I feel like this has been a really good lead up to maybe doing that song.
Oh, would you mind?
Sure,
That'd be
absolutely.
great.
Yeah,
Would that be all right?
Yeah.
Maria, is that okay with
absolutely.
you?
Sure. And I actually share Because of You with you guys and with everybody else. Because like
Yeah.
while he initially wrote it for us, we do this together because of you. Like we are who we are and we've gotten to this level, 1,000 subscribers in like a year and a half or whatever, like
Yeah.
to because of you. Like I create these
Yeah, it's
little
huge.
I love Michael songs t-shirts, because of you, and people wear them, right?
There you go.
Oh, Son is the chat crew.
Check room in the house.
So
And I
yeah.
won this because of Allie Patches, who, again, one of the artists that has drawn the cover art for the new EP.
Yeah.
She drew the fox image that you guys use often around Sly, and again, like Allie and Wes, G May. There's just like this whole community that really, we respond to what you guys send out as well. Like the
Hmm.
positivity is also like, oh yeah, we feel it. That's why we're there every week. I don't. You think I'm gonna set my alarm and not have a good time? You know what I
Yeah.
mean, on Sunday mornings? But
Right?
it's like
Stay in bed.
it's the community.
And
And when the ooh part comes up, everybody knows what to do in the live chat. When people don't
We
know that,
love
they're like,
that.
what are they talking about?
Yeah.
What's
What is
when Michael
happening right
Song says
now?
he's
yeah,
screen
what is
capturing,
this?
what's this? So it's super fun just to and I know people will be like, oh, you guys live in Hawaii, you're in paradise, blah, 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 blah. But we're on the big island and it can get lonely sometimes. And having, just a deeper sense of community, especially post-COVID, where people like really like, oh, you're my tribe, no matter if you're local or, across the country or across a couple ponds in some cases.
Yeah,
So it's just really
Yeah.
fun to be a part of this community. And
very
it's
much
it's
so.
And
fun to see it all grow.
And if
the
you want to become
communities.
part of the music community too, you could check out Michael Songs at 12 p.m. on Sundays. Also, many other different places. You can hit this QR code that's right here below us. Am I doing that right? And you can go and you can look at the tracks from the EP at michaelssongsofficial.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. And would you like to play Because of You right now?
So before he does that, though, I do
Yes.
want to clarify the emoji thing, because not everybody on your show might know what it is, and I like
Thank
for
you.
everybody to feel, welcomed and informed.
Please.
Do you want to say what it is? How it started? So I'll. So we did become monetized on YouTube last year. That was one of the accomplishments since we've last spoke. Yay!
Yay.
Cool.
Yay!
That's huge.
We can now buy like a cup of coffee a month, so it's fantastic.
Excellent.
Love it.
But it's been really great, and the support from people has just really been much more inspiring to us to do more, to do better. And one of the programs is we have the Songsters, and the Songsters are the members of the Michael Songs channel, and it's I think it's like $1.99 for the first level of membership if you'd like to be a member. But when you become a member, you get to have access to our emojis. So we have these custom emojis. So before we had the custom emojis, Michael would sing the song, and there's some oohing. You might hear some oohing in the song, just a little bit, and like ooh. So our fans that would be in the chat would all type O's, all different kinds of O's, like life raft O, the little life O's, and
Donuts.
O's. Yeah.
Donuts.
I was using sheep at some point, because sheep are like ooh, little female girl sheep.
You. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So we would all get creative.
That was a deep cut joke.
So when we became monetized and we had access to create emojis for people, we thought, what would we do? And we were like, this would be perfect to make an ooh emoji, and maybe some ooh merch in the future.
In the future.
Yeah. Ooh.
Ooh. So anyway, so people still use the old school emojis, and people still use. They obviously use the new emojis, the custom member emojis. So feel free, if anybody is watching this and you want to ooh along with us, we will be oohing. A lot of people will be oohing. Michael Songs will be oohing.
Excellent. And remember to hop over to the Michael Songs YouTube channel and subscribe.
Yeah.
Watch videos and comment and share what your favorite part of the show is. Very cool. Ooze it is.
Push buttons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right on. Without further ado.
Adieu.
Adieu.
This song's called Because of You. It is because of Maria. If you want to sing along on the chorus, all you have to do is figure out some way to make some sort of circular object. Tumbleweed rolling through this vacancy. My mind keeps missing all the marks. This latency, but oh, it all lines up because of you. Oh, it all lines up because of you. I'm like an abacus, a little outdated and a lot untouched. I can't keep track of everything. It's multiplying. It all adds up because of you. Oh, it all adds up because of you. Many pages left unread. I'm like a dog-eat page in the middle of a chapter, something to save. You tore me out and held me up, and now I'm on display. A whole lot of nervous with some some songs to play. You make me feel like I'm enough. You do. Oh, it all works out because of you. Oh, it all works out because of I am a man in love, it's the one thing that I'm certain of. I question everything else. I know it's all okay, 'cause I got you and you would say your best is always good enough. Oh, I'm all I am because of you. Oh, I'm all I am because of
Woo! Aw,
There you go.
Excellent,
sounds good
excellent,
every
excellent.
Oh,
I love the
thanks.
ooze emanating.
time.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
There,
Very
for the
Snoopy.
longest time, I didn't have a monitor. So, like, I have a monitor now, so I can kind of see what we're doing. I did not have a monitor, so I used to just turn and look at Maria, and she would go, or
I
something like that
remember.
until I was close to wherever she put the ooze.
You'd be
That's
like,
good.
how's this? How's this? How's this? How's
Yeah.
this?
One of these days,
Good
I know
stuff.
she's going to mess with me. Now that I can see, she's going to start putting it in different spots. I'll have to, like,
Right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well,
That's funny.
I love it too when she tells you to duck real fast and you were very fast with it. And she swoops in with the tour van, the tour bus that Allie designed for you guys too. That artwork.
Mm-hmm.
So fun. So
Yeah.
fun. People have to tune in
Absolutely.
to know what we're talking about. They'll
Right.
have to tune into your live
Get
stream.
on the bus.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. Yeah, we
quick
plan to get
question.
that bus rolling at some point soon.
Oh,
So.
I love
Right,
it.
right. Cool. Just a quick question about that song in particular, or any other song that you've got going on in your original repertoire. Is there a memorable time where you sang a song where it had an effect on the audience that you weren't expecting? I know you've played a lot of gigs,
Yeah, so you know
whether
what's
good or bad.
yeah, what's
Yeah.
interesting about that song in particular, because of you, is the response is different for a virtual audience as opposed to a in-person audience. So the virtual audience locks onto the ooze on the chorus and they sing along with the ooze. When I'm in person, it's whenever I get to that I am a man in love, everyone just instantly starts clapping and
Right.
getting into the rhythm of that spot. So I thought it was interesting. Like online, people are singing along to the ooze. In person, not as many people sing along to the ooze. We get a few people that do like a little O above their head while it's happening. Um,
Oh, it's cute.
but people respond more to that rhythm thing that's
Yeah.
happening live.
The
Yeah.
drive.
So yeah, so it's kind of cool. So then, like, what you do as a performer is depending on in what venue you're in. You know, like you accent that a little more.
Hmm.
So I'll make sure if I'm live in person, like that rhythm that I'm doing's got to be strong and it's got to hit and it's got to be real staccato to make sure I'm grabbing everyone in the room with it because that's the part
Yeah.
that they're most locking onto.
I want
Nice.
to add
That's
something
great.
quickly.
I'm doing
Go
both,
for
by
it.
the way. I'm doing both the rhythm and the oohing when I'm watching.
Nice. Thank you.
But that's
Thank
me.
So far, he's played 2 of the songs from the EP. And I just want to clarify for anybody, because nobody, actually, I shouldn't say nobody, but people haven't heard the EP yet. It's still very, very new. And a lot of artists, when they put out an EP, it's very similar to what they just have sounded like before. And so
Hmm.
what's cool about our EP is we've added some additional instrumentation and kind of filled out the songs a little bit more than what people are used to hearing, just because he's, he's just one
Uh-huh.
guy.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So like
I mean, you
when you
fill a lot of sound with just one guy, but I can imagine
Oh,
having,
thank you.
he
because
does.
I hear other pieces along too, and I'm listening to your songs. I mean, I hear a full whatever, but you do a great job, on your own translating that. But
I'm
yeah,
tainted by cowbell. All I hear is like
Somebody in
it's
the
all's
back going,
going on up here.
Freebird.
yeah.
Right.
Monkey snack and
But
cymbals.
yeah, as
Yeah.
you're saying, Maria.
Free bird.
But the reason why I brought it up at this point was because of you, he brought in some rhythm. I'm again not a musician. This is all I know. But he brought in some rhythm to that track. So if you are one of those people that hears it naturally, you might be surprised, pleasantly surprised, to hear that on the track as well.
Cool.
Another
Cool.
example is Sly. So we've talked about Sly a little bit and the,
Mhm.
Fox. So there's some instrumentation in there. I won't give it away, but there's some instrumentation in there that
Very
is a
cool.
bit more melancholy and kind of
Cool.
brings that feeling, even more that warm blanket in. So
So something to really look forward to. That's very cool that you could.
Yeah, a little different, something a
Yeah.
little different
Yeah.
that they can't
Yeah,
find
we wanted
online. I
it to
gotta get the
feel
EP.
familiar, but with some new elements. Yeah.
Right.
I love it.
When you're playing it hit or miss unless you line it up at some of the venues, do you have just some people that are drummers that are like, ooh, can I play for you, or like a lot of you do a lot of percussion aspect with the acoustic, you treating it like a device onto which you should play in correlation with tonal notation, but the rhythms themselves
Yeah.
are driving, which is groovy.
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
ever
when
have anybody wants pop up?
I have people pop up fairly often, especially at the open mics. It's what we try to do. Sometimes bring a drum set or have a drum set set up there, and then just playing with each other too on guitars. Um, and I have a tendency. I play on a bunch of other people's music too, so I only do original music, but that is not limited to me. I will play
Hmm.
other people's original songs with them as well. But what I like to do is write parts. So whether I get to be the drummer, which is one of the things I do, or if I'm on guitar, write a different part. I don't want to just kind of strum along to the song. I want to write something new,
Yes,
because
yes,
of
yes.
similar to what Rachel just said. Some of our minds, the way it works, I can just hear so many different things on any
I'm always
given
playing
piece of
melodica
music.
in my head along with your stuff. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So it's like, so I'm like, I just want to add those. So the same on my songs. There'll be a handful of people that will like pop up, and I've done 3 now live shows that I refer to as song swaps. So I bring in a handful of other musicians and songwriters, and I learn 1 or 2 of their songs. They learn 1 or 2 of my songs. And the
Awesome.
plan
Cool.
initially was just to play sort of as just duos throughout the night. Like I was going to be on stage the whole night and just bring people up, and I'd play 2 of theirs with them. They'd play
Hmm.
1 or 2 of mine, and we would cycle. But what happened is when I planned the first one, which was for last November, I learned pretty quick I was not the only multi instrumentalist in the group of people. So we turned it into a band. So like everybody that came up, you got to hear their songs with drums and bass and additional
Very
vocals and things like
Fun.
that.
cool.
So like it far exceeded my expectations, but it was similar to like what you were saying. You get this opportunity to kind of add to songs, um,
Yeah.
and it's neat,
And
and
that's such a great
especially
opportunity for the artist too, to be able to play with other, to play with other people. You
Yeah,
don't always,
independent
yeah,
artists. Yeah.
hmm
right? Yeah, for you
Yeah.
all to get to kind of like help each other, maybe envision those songs in a
Mm.
fuller sense. Yeah.
right, yeah,
So
exactly.
sometimes it's not even just the song, it's the player too. When being a solo independent musician, have you ever, this is a heavy question, have you ever thought about encouraging other people who are independent musicians to join the Michael Songs bandwagon? Is it at the point to say, I've got X amount of songs. If you like this 1 or 2, how about we work on 10 or 11? It's not just the music aspect, it's feeling out people's personal lives. Are they dependable? Can they show up at a gig? Do they have the same? Do you want a bass player that's busy? Do you want a bass player that just plays 1, 3, and 5?
Hmm.
Or 1, 5? Or like, how is that? Are you at the point where you're like kind of envisioning what the future of your independent musicianship should be, and if you're going to be layering on band members?
Yeah, so I really like doing the solo thing. There's just something that happens for me while I'm playing, and the similar to what we talked about with jazz music, the rules go out the window. So when I'm playing by myself, I can go anywhere on a
Hmm.
moment's notice. I can have a thought and go, I'm going to go there now. I don't have to explain it to anyone. I don't have to be waiting on someone. I don't have to make sure that the tempo shift is an obvious one. I can just jump to something. So I still mostly prefer to do the solo thing as much as possible. But what I
Hmm.
like about doing the shared song things, it's not just for me. Like I'm not looking just to like add a band behind me. I want to keep promoting songwriting and original songs. So that's why I like to do it in that way where I'll keep bringing people on. There's a handful of people. Shay Arthur, Chuck M Music are two of my really good friends.
Hmm.
I always want them involved with anything that I do, if possible, when I do those types of shows. And everyone else, there's a bunch of other really close people that I have, but I kind of want to cycle different people in to do that same sort of thing. I want to keep learning new music and new songs, and how do I interact with this person, because that helps you. That's practice again, right? For sitting in with
Hmm.
someone you've never sat in with before. If you keep
Very much
rehearsing
so.
with different people, right, all the time, then you learn. Like I don't just play the same guitar style every time I play guitar when I'm playing with someone else. I listen to what their songs are and I go, what suits this song? What should I be
Cool.
doing here? So every one of those is a new learning experience and a new good time for me. So that's what I would picture as, is that I would do those song swap elements more often, but still leave a big old window for me to do my solo stuff where I can just kind
Yeah.
of fluctuate at random.
Yeah. It would change some of the process by which one would write a song if we were incorporating space for others to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then what one of my favorite bands is like or just not bands, but like jazz in general. It is the core of throwing it all out the window, as you alluded to. That really is improvisation. And then not being able to explain that to somebody who might not be at that point of keeping their ears open,
Mm-hmm.
as what you just said, is when you play for a multitude of different people, you start to have expectations of where the music could go. And
Yep.
with limiting yourself with other players, it kind of pulls it out of that, like, will I be able to focus on where I want to go? And does it need to stay the same? That's an interesting
Mm-hmm.
aspect. A lot of times we don't think about when we're writing songs. Do you have any songs that are like that where you've played it the same way 100 times and then you just played it differently one time and something happened? Have you ever had any magical moments with some of your songs like that?
Yeah, that's a constant thing that I actually search for. I'm always trying to play the song in a slightly different way. And it can be something as simple as the tempo, right? Like
Yeah.
whether you decidedly played it at a different tempo or not, right? Sometimes it's a decision, sometimes it just happens. Sometimes it's like, oh, if I play this song after I play that song, I tend to start fast. Well, instead of trying to
Hmm.
like course correct, I just go, well, where does it go if I'm playing it fast? Where does it go if I'm playing it slow? So I'm always trying to see different avenues of what happens with the song, and then I will look at that later and go, was that beneficial or not? What can I take away from what worked with that song? But yeah, I'm not a big fan of playing the songs the same way all the time. Uh,
Yeah.
that I feel like I've already done that. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played it that way. Now let me play it 1,000 different ways.
Right. So maybe a good thing is to like I don't know, different strokes, different folks. But if you had any advice for a musician who's just starting out,
Mm-hmm.
what would that be as far as like writing music? Should there be a main focus? Should you try in many different ways? What advice would you give to somebody who's at that beginning stage of just throwing the book out and just keeping the diagrams and going, okay, I got this chords. Um,
Yeah, I think that for me, a philosophy I kind of apply to everything is everything in moderation, and that does not mean that you hold anything back. That just means keep doing a bunch of different stuff. So the songwriting, try a bunch of different avenues, and by doing that, what sort of automatically happens is rather than trying to decide what type of musician or instrumentation or songwriter or song style or genre you are, try a bunch of different things and see what feels the most comfortable to you, what fits what you are the most. You'll feel it. You don't have to think about it. When it starts to happen, you recognize it instead of trying to determine ahead of, well, I like this, so I should be this. Sometimes the music that you love the most, you just cannot play. I love jazz. I could not sit in with a jazz band. I'm just not that. I don't grasp it quite the same way that they do, but I will love to sit there for 5 hours and listen to them play. Um,
yeah,
so do that as much as possible, and I do songwriting sessions. I offer those as well, and that's one of the things with that is you can learn so many people need or want different things out of improving their songwriting, and
yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
it's something as simple as Backstory. I found out a lot of people don't have backstory for characters in their song.
Hmm.
I didn't know that I was unique in any way for doing that.
Oh
If
yeah,
I write a
you
song
are
from
pretty
a
unique in that, actually, I think. When
oh,
I heard,
thank you.
sorry to interrupt, but
Yeah, no, it's
when
fine.
I heard that process about that, that you do really, you sink yourself into the character and you think about, and that really comes out like it's a visceral feeling. Your storytelling, like
Hmm.
it's it's tangible for people that are listening. They can because you're putting yourself into that, and
Hmm.
then you're letting that emote.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I've done like songwriting workshops here in Hawaii, Hilo, and for the community. I've got a couple things on the YouTube channel about how my writing process, and one of them was how do I learn new ways to write that. If one was wanting to learn a new songwriting process, or at least view through the eyes of Michael Songs, where could you go to sign up or
For your
for
sessions.
your sessions?
Yeah, so you can go to michaelsongsofficial.com, and I believe we have a songwriting link
Yeah,
right
we
on
have.
the. Yeah, if you scroll down, you will see it quite clearly there. You can hook it up. You can take a look at the calendar to see what times and days we have available for those things. Or you can reach out to us directly, either email music@michaelsongsofficial.com, or if you know us, text us. Yeah,
Cool.
all the
At
different
shows, at live shows,
at live shows. Ask, yeah,
in
absolutely.
the chat.
Nice.
If you end up
Mhm.
in one of our live chats, you can ask them
Cool.
there.
And yeah, that really important thing of like what you just said, there's a million different ways to write songs, and there's a million different things that you could need to help improve your songwriting,
Right.
and you don't always know what it is. So sometimes just talking to somebody else about how you write songs and how they write songs,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you
Yeah.
can learn something that you're like, huh, and then just try applying those different techniques or styles to what you do and see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. What I've always tried to tell like intermediate students that are learning like modal theory and scales and due to how to practice the practices, it's
Mm-hmm.
fun to be able to know what all the names of these things are, but you do not need to know what tertiary harmony is to have fun
Good,
playing
because
music and
I don't either.
there's like that's the whole idea. You don't have to have a vocabulary like blah, 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 because it's overwhelming at a certain point. But sometimes I found in my reality is like, I wanted to know what the certain function was that I was hearing a Zappa do or
Right.
Nine Inch Nails or just something. I wanted to understand what that
Whether they have a
was.
common
Yeah.
language.
So and
Mm-hmm.
what I found is there's not a large community of people that understand that and speak that way or like, oh, that's sonata form and blah 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 blah. Just but you intrinsically feel that, and being able to watch somebody's songwriting process is extremely important in the beginning because it is the first stage of song analysis, which whether you want
Mm-hmm.
to accept it or not, that is theory. So
Yep.
uh,
Yep.
it's absolutely another leads to another question. When you watch other musicians, do you view it through the eyes of the musician, or do you view it through the eyes of the songwriter, or do you view it through the eyes of one of your characters, or do you view it through the eyes of maybe somebody who's just doesn't play, doesn't know chords? How is your ability to hear a song by either a famous artist or an independent artist, and what does that look like for you?
Yeah, so that's much like my theory of everything in moderation. Depending on the artist and what they're doing, there are things that I focus on. So like, I'm a big fan of a group called Punch Brothers, and one of their early albums, I believe it's called "Are You Who's Feeling Young Now?" I believe is what it's called. On that album, there's sort of this mesh of like bluegrass and classical meets almost sort of pop, but not really. But what hit me on that album is they're all doing these subtle percussive elements on their instruments while they're playing, which that in itself is not that unique. But when you listen to it as a whole, I'm like, it sounds like they've built a drum set
Hmm.
out
Ah,
of. They're doing what I try to do when we talked about like me delivering a lot on the guitar. I'm trying to get a bass line, get a melody, get a rhythm section, and then do elements that make you feel the bass and the snare, all just from this one instrument when I'm playing
yeah,
live.
yeah.
And what I hear on their album, the mandolin player might be doing a little, and then the guitarist, but they're not just playing that. They're playing their part
Right.
and then adding that in. And when it's all playing together, you hear the parts that they're playing, and then you hear this full drum beat. You hear all those elements like clicking together. And so whenever I listen to them play, that's the first thing I'm doing. I'm listening to them as a drummer. I'm like, what is happening percussively here that is driving this
Excellent.
song alive with no drummer? Like, but you
That,
hear a
that's
full drum
great.
set. Yeah, because they're all delivering
Wow.
And
it.
that's the
Yeah, I
thing a
love
lot of
that.
people aren't clued on to. That breakdown in music analysis is called a Hawkett rhythm. from the French, it's that basically you break apart individual rhythms and each individual person does a part of the collective rhythm.
Yep.
That is a hard thing to listen for. And if that's the first thing that
Yeah.
you're listening for, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's like,
No, I
that's,
love it.
that's the bee's knees.
Yeah.
That's another
Yeah.
great term.
Yeah,
There you
And
go.
it's also part on the album too. We use a bit of that.
Yeah, a little bit of some of the drum work for 18 Wheels. I had Joey DiTullio is the engineer that came down, recorded us, and we had
huh,
him add all the extra instrumentation and vocals. And I was talking to him about literally the Punch Brothers and how they do their thing. So he took his guitar. So there's drums on 18 Wheels, but there's also some hand drumming where he took his guitar, he removed the strings from it, and he recorded him playing different elements
yeah,
of the
yeah, cool.
drums. And then he like put that together as this like beat that comes up underneath of it. So it was that same theory in that way, like you get all those different sounds creating a drum beat.
Fun.
That's
That's
awesome.
so cool.
Yeah, that really puts music into a different perspective as well, as far as from
Mm-hmm.
somebody who writes as well. Just trying to hear the drum part as well. As far
Right.
as like listening to another individual's type of music, do you do like chord progression kind of thing? Do you think, oh, that's an interesting place to put an A minor, or wonder why they did that instead of this? Like, is there introspective, or is it just like I don't know, like weirdly enough, I've never really listened to a lot of David Bowie. I listened to some David Bowie and my mind was blown. Same way
Mm-hmm.
that I listened to Nirvana, that I haven't really listened to a lot of Nirvana. My mind is blown by the way that these individuals write music.
Yeah.
Um, do you ever have?
You took it for granted
I took it for
when you were a little
granted, and I was
younger,
like,
and
oh, it's just
now
David
you
Bowie,
realize,
down,
yeah.
down, 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 down. But when you listen to the B tracks, your mind is blown with
Yeah.
the word phrasings, the notes that are used, the usage of chords that you generally don't hear in normal music,
Mm-hmm.
like the diminished or the augmented. So,
Yeah.
like, are there any bands that really stuck out to you in your life besides like maybe the Punch Brother for the percussion aspect, but like it holds a special place in your heart as far as like not that you want to emulate anybody because you absolutely have your own original sound, but something that you hold close to heart.
Yeah, I would say two of the people that were on my big three list growing up, Ani DeFranco and Louis Armstrong. What I took away most from them, vocal cadence, and what a difference just changing a vocal cadence can do to deliver something. So when I work on a song, I will try delivering the lines in a handful of different vocal cadences. Where you put the break and where you create a rhythm with the vocal is just as important as the melody. So for me, hearing those and all the differences that they do, you could play the same piece of music and deliver the lyrics over top of that piece of music 8 different ways. And I recommend
Yeah.
everybody try that. Even if you keep the first way that you did it as the way that you
Hmm.
learned, just try it. You don't have to change the music. And if you find it a struggle, you can record the music just on like a little memo note on your phone and play the music back on the loop and
Hmm.
try singing the lyrics in a bunch of different rhythms. I'm not talking about like, don't worry about the melody right off the bat. Don't even worry about how good you're hitting the notes. Try
Right.
putting different breaks in the lines. What happens when I sing this many syllables with a break, this many syllables?
Right.
You know, it starts
Agreed.
showing you beats and rhythms and things like that. So
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
two for me were huge.
Whew. One of the mind blowers for me is I have a couple special needs students, so I know that I talk extremely fast. Everything I do is just stream of conscious, blah blah blah. It is really something when I record the videos and I speak slower about the things that I'm doing rather than pulsing it da 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 da, being aware of what those movements and speech patterns are and how other people might be influenced by it.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, trying to get through all these videos, I really don't go back through videos, but I found when I put my finger on the thing and it speeds it up to twice the amount of time, and then you go back and listen to the music that you're playing, something that you thought might have been like, eh, turns out to be
Double
really
time.
great double time over the
Mm-hmm.
period. And it's like, oh, that really sounded really good.
Yeah.
So sometimes as effectively as what you were talking about is playing it in a different time rhythmic pattern or
Mm-hmm.
sometimes in a different pitch changes the way that you feel about that, and absolutely the what you just talked about is one of the main things I took away from my favorite artist, Frank Zappa. Was able to write a song and then play it in bluegrass, jazz, reggae, bossa nova, and that's beyond me. How
Right.
one motif or melody line can be put into different concepts. That's truly amazing. But that's
Yeah.
what we aspire to,
Yeah.
I think.
And that shows you really
We've done
quickly
a
what
little
the
bit.
core of that song is that you're doing, right?
Very
Because
much
you
so.
realize what is the element that I'm taking with me to each one of those styles of music when I'm doing the same song differently. And
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah,
that's the song.
right.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
And maybe
And
if
a
you
good
played in
process to kind of
jazz,
get to that feeling too. If you're kind of like, if you feel like a song isn't anchored or you're not really, sure, doing that kind of deep dive exercise is really great.
very much so.
Hmm.
I'd love to hear it
Tell you what, I would love to hear you play it again. And that's what I was just thinking. Do you have a song that would anchor us? Have something fun?
Sure. Something fun or
played.
No, just
I
something that's about what we've
okay.
just been
Your
talking about.
choice.
That's the creative songwriting process.
Yeah. Absolutely. I will play Dissolving. So Dissolving has been one of my favorite songs to play. And one of the reasons is similar to what I talked about with Because of You, people locking in on different parts of it. Um, some people hear the song and tell me that they like it because of the guitar work that I'm doing on it. Some people like specifically the lyrics or certain vocal melodies. Overall, the song structure of it I found to be fairly not unique like anything super special each section, but sometimes I move linearly through a song and sometimes I repeat certain patterns and parts, and I feel like this song does a good job of what's happening musically is dictating the emotion of the story of the song.
Do you
Cool.
want to talk any bit about the story of the song?
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm terrible at that. I almost never give away the stories to songs for some reason. Um, so when I first wrote this song, what I decided to write it about, I always do perspectives, and I always do. If you hear me do a drastic shift in music on a song, that is usually because I'm now singing from a different character perspective. It might still be first person, so you might not catch it just listening to the song, but I've changed the music because now it's a different character, and that character has a different energy. So in this
Interesting.
song, I wrote it from a perspective of someone that knows it's time to move on, it's time to go somewhere new. There's nothing wrong with where they're at. They just dream of something bigger and better, and they have to leave to do it. And the second character in the song is actually the country that this person lived in. This person's leaving their country and going to somewhere new, and they're scared, but they know that they have to go there in order to spread their wings and accomplish the things they want to accomplish. And then the country, as if it's, I personified the country, is saying to them, they know that they're going, and it's just asking, are you going to remember me? Are you going to think about
Mm.
me? Are you going to keep your heritage and your culture as you move on? That's sort of the deep dive into what this song is actually about. This is Dissolving.
Thank you.
Without
Great
further
backstory.
ado.
Absolutely. Wishful thinking, we tried it all. It fit like a glove, we just ran out of love. One of the hardest things to do is to walk away when nothing's wrong. What do you say? Time keeps passing, it's the same old routine. I'm not dissatisfied, I've just got another dream. Time is a capsule holding you in. Next thing you know, it's dissolving. It's dissolving. I bought a ticket to a new world. I guess it's time to go. I better pack my things. I'm scared to death of this next step. I know it's time to spread my
Yeah.
There you go.
Excellent. And that's one of the newer tunes.
Yeah, it's fairly new. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent.
New tunes is always tricky for me, right? Because like I've written, I don't know, 5 in the last week. So like I
Right.
have to remember like
New-ish.
when you say new, it's the songs that you've most recently shared with people. Like, because I'm always like that song's not new, but then I'm like, oh right, like I'm not sharing all the songs that I'm writing every single week. Um, so there's a handful that are considered the new songs still, but in my mind, I'm like that feels like 30 years ago.
Right. Yeah. Uh, I guess just quick tag on question because we can. Do you have any songs that you kind of had an idea that you wrote, you put in a notebook, you have it in the back of your head when you're writing, it always comes out, or you think about that song? Do you have any songs that not are your opus, like you're not Sergeant Pepper, but just something that you've always kind of worked on that is always going to be a work in progress,
Whew. I
like
feel
the
like
long
technically,
term?
yeah, I feel like that's technically all of them, but I know like a song like Better Place, I
Mm.
leave sort of a section of that song to kind of play. And I have
Like
sort
extended
of,
jam.
yeah, I have sort of a framework for it, and it can be different every time. I have a simplistic version that I'm like, when time is tight, just kind of do this. But when I do that song, it's one of the few where I explore musically more while I'm playing. Just sort of what happens if I do this, and then what does it mean as far as how I wrap up the song. Going back to the quote unquote chorus. There's not really a chorus in the song, but depending on what I come up with determines how I end the song, how I go back into the vocal element. So so that's one
Would
where I
you,
feel like, yeah. Okay.
is it too soon to go into another song? Would you like to play Better Place right now?
Sure, I can do that. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
love Better
Gibby,
Place.
back to
I know
back.
it might be one of Maria's favorites too.
It
You
is.
can
It
find
is.
Maria's favorites on Maria's favorites playlist on Michael Song's
There you
YouTube
go.
channel. Her favorites are all there.
Absolutely. Yeah, and she's a, as we all should be, she is a stark critic. So like one of the
Starch.
two. Yeah, collars up
What do
and
you got
tight.
against potatoes and rice?
Um,
A starch critic.
oh man, I love him. Um,
He really does.
she will, if something is good, she will tell you. If it's not good, she will let you know. As all things, it could be and should be better.
All
Um,
right.
but that she
Yeah.
takes the time to honor the things that are special, right? So like you
Yeah.
don't feel bad about anything that doesn't hit the mark, because the chances of hitting that mark, you aim really high.
Love
And
it.
when
Mm-hmm.
you hit that, you don't say, "Oh my god, I hit it. That's fantastic." We just keep moving that mark higher.
Yeah.
Yes.
Every single time,
Yeah.
if you start hitting that mark a few times in a row, it's time to move that mark higher.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Celebrate and then move on.
exactly. So it
Yeah.
is far and few between for something to be good enough for Maria to say that's going in the Maria's playlist.
Aw, that's
Excellent.
good to know. Yeah, you guys go check that out on YouTube for Michael Song's YouTube channel,
Yeah.
and he's going to play Because of You for us.
Nope.
Right. Meow.
No, better.
Oh, Better
We already
Place.
did
We
because
already
of you.
did Because of
Yeah,
You.
better
You know what I'm saying.
did.
These B titles.
Tongues
So
half twisted and words unclear.
there you
Grateful
go.
Dead.
Better
I feel
Place.
like he's gonna
Hunter.
play it for me too.
Yeah. It's a good spot for an edit because I just sucked down some coffee the wrong way.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I'm a pretty edit free guy. Let's see
Better
what
Place.
happens.
Yeah.
Maria's going to take care of that.
Go.
There you go.
And see.
Remember that perfection bit?
Yeah. We're gonna need to mute for like 2 seconds. I'm gonna need to get rid of the.
Oh, that looks cool.
Got about, what, 10 minutes or so?
Hmm.
All right.
We're back.
I'm good.
Hey.
Hello.
End scene.
Now your hair's different.
Oh.
There you go. All right. So Better Place. We were at Better Place.
Yeah.
This is also a fan favorite and Maria's one of Maria's favorites. Daybreak. Morning doesn't know how weak you are yet. The day has not realized you're just grasping at the straws of being good enough. Good enough to hold your head up high someday. That's the goal I'm shooting for anyway. I feel like nothing's happened once again. All those plans falling by the wayside. Another day we weren't quite good enough. Remember how strong we used to be? Remember how strong we used to be? Maybe we should go to a better place where we both can be ourselves again. Maybe we can go to a better place where no one knows our names. Maybe we should go to a better place where we all can be ourselves again. Maybe we can go to a better place where no one knows our names. Our names. Our names. Our names. Our names.
Yes.
So good.
There you go.
Excellent.
Thank
I
you.
was all worked
Awesome.
up over here.
Better place. And if you're ever
Nice.
watching the live stream, you could always tell what song's playing because Maria puts it up right in the corner, right there. You could always tell. And then on the website, when you go to the YouTube channel, you can check out short clips of individual songs, some of the favorite picks, and then some fun other content on the channel as well. If you haven't
Absolutely.
already gone down to michaelsongofficial.com, please do check it out. When we hit that QR code, you could be taken to a place where you could get first dibs on the EP that is dropping. And each individual song has a little old and a little new, but as we were just talking, these are just the songs of a songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
This is amazing that you've gone through the process of doing the EP. Is there any one special takeaway that you could have from this last journey doing the EP that you'd like to share with people who are just starting their journey?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the process, because of the process that we chose to do for how to do this EP. I mean, again, it was lucky for us to come across and know and be friends with Joey DeTulio so that we could put this EP together this way. But like, I'm a multi-instrumentalist, so the thought was originally like, oh, I'll get around to making an EP and I'll sit down and I can write all the parts and I have some ideas in mind and I'll do all this thing. But then that just kept perpetuating delay, right? Because it's like,
Mm-hmm.
well, when are you going to sit down and do all this stuff? So the fact that we just sort of decided to do it because we knew here's this person that will come and record it, and I know that they are a talented enough musician to deliver what I want to deliver these songs. So like Joey would come back with a part, it would be an amazing part, but I would say, but it's not quite right for the song. But I knew, much like me, he would have 5 other ideas, right? You just give him a different
Mm-hmm.
direction, and he's like, here's the other things I can deliver in that direction. So if you want to do recorded music, not trying to do everything yourself, I think is a good thing. And finding someone that is a good fit for you that can help you deliver your sound, your songs, your talent in a way that lifts you up more is key. So for
Mm-hmm.
us, that was Joey DeTulio finding that and making that happen.
Cool.
That's the way I shouldn't say way I would recommend. That's one of the things I would recommend people trying to do if you were trying to get recorded music is to find some other people that can help you out, but make sure that they're delivering what you want your
Right.
sound to be.
Sounds good. And would you like us to throw a link to Joey's website in there as well? If we could gather that
Sure.
later.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
We'll gather that and put that in there. Absolutely.
I want to add
Can do.
my 2 cents in terms of the recorded music thing, in addition to what Michael Song said. But keeping in mind too, it's kind of like getting married or renovations on a house. Anyone that's ever done that, it ends up taking longer, costing more, being more frustrating, and most of the time being extremely more rewarding than you can ever imagine at the end when it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
agreed.
like if it's something that you really want to do, like gear up because like you're gonna have to push. Unless you have all the time and all the resources in the world, then maybe things will be easier. But I feel like even then, it's
Good on
stressful.
you.
Right?
Yeah.
Good on
Yeah.
you. It's fantastic. But it's
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
like it's the creative process. Can be stressful, or working with other people can be stressful, even if
Yeah.
you have the most ideal situation and circumstances.
Right. Even
Um,
throwing money at it. Some of my favorite bands from the 90s are putting out albums now, and it's just like, eh, eh.
Mm-hmm.
All the time, all the money in the world, and it's whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
some of
yeah.
our favorite bands probably had zero money. Like their debut EP was
Yeah.
like, wow.
Right.
So like, there's something to be said for like just pure raw passion and a little bit of ignorance and blind optimism.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some
You
faith,
know,
Yeah.
trust.
yeah,
Trust in
Absolutely.
others,
for
trust
Yeah.
sure.
in yourself.
I like
Yeah.
that little tip to give somebody. Yeah, as a multi-instrumentalist myself, is maybe you go into a little state of, well, when am I going to get time? If I'm doing all the parts, don't I have to chart it all out? Don't I need to know? And some of the creative awesomeness that flows out of you in the crunch, the go time, is the thing that makes that song the song, or the little thing you aforementioned that as well, changing the timing, changing the pitch, changing the way you see the song. Very cool. That's good advice. Very much so. Um, how about a random question? Do you have any cooking tips?
Do-
Well, your most famous random cooking tip, like
Um,
something you always do that
Did
shocks.
Did you know we fell in love because of cooking?
No, that's
Oh,
great.
I didn't know that actually.
Just a
Yeah.
random serendipitous question.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I give the
Yeah.
little story? We can always go.
For sure.
But
Sweet.
so we were friends. We had been friends for like 3 years at that point. Like I said, I hired him, so we would do gigs together and we hung out. You know, we went on tour together and all that other stuff. And we were getting closer and closer as friends. I was single, he was single at the time, so it was all above board. And he was helping me with a project. I was moving into a trailer down by the river, and
Nice.
no like electricity or running water or anything, like off the
Feel
grid.
ya.
And
Sounds
he
like
was
us.
helping me, right? Yeah, right. So he was helping me do some of the rehab and things like that. And I was supposed to pick him up at like 5 o'clock one night after work or whatever. And I was just having a Maria moment. I got there very late, very late.
5 hours late.
5 hours
late.
late.
You know.
It was a day. And so, you know, I show up at like 10, 11 o'clock.
And then it was
at
an evening.
night. Yeah, we're trying to like hang drywall and stuff. No electricity. We'll figure it out. So you guys get it.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
I walk in to pick him up, and he didn't drive at the time, so I would pick him up and then drive to the spot. I walk in to pick him up, and it like smelled really good in the house. And he's like wiping things down and stuff, and I'm looking around. I'm in the kitchen, and I'm like putting my spidey senses together. I'm like, did you bake cookies? And he, like, out of nowhere, I don't know where they were hiding. He just like turned around and produced one of those like giant Rubbermaid storage containers, you know, like the
Yeah.
big like super mom ones, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Of
Yes.
goodness.
Popcorn, right? All the goodness, like the casserole,
Yes.
soup, the
big
alcoholic
ones.
drinks, the big one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he produced this giant Rubbermaid container of oatmeal chocolate chip cookies,
Oh, wow.
peanut butter,
Peanut butter.
fresh baked.
Details.
I was like, you baked cookies? And he just looked at me and he said, you sounded like you were having a rough day, so I baked you some cookies.
Yeah.
Aw. And
I
then
literally went weak in the knees. Every time I tell the story, I go weak in the knees. And I knew in my brain, I was like, crap, I'll never be single again.
That was the defining moment.
Yeah, and like we've kind of been together ever since. You know, there's like texture to every story, but like that was pretty much it. I mean, we have been like by each other's side ever since. But yeah, so like
love it.
It just so this man can cook. I got to tell you, I don't know how to turn on our stove, and I have no intention of learning.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Excellent.
no intention.
I make Wago cook
Well,
a
see,
lot.
we learned a valuable thing.
I'll do dishes.
People who play music do other things too.
He cooks, I
Oh,
clean.
yeah.
That's fine.
Absolutely.
He
I very
hangs
much
a
enjoy
mean
cooking as well.
drywall. Hangs a mean
Oh, yeah.
drywall.
Yeah.
Gotten
so
good at
cooking.
drywall.
What's your cooking tip there?
I mean, kind of what you said would be the tip. Always put love into whatever you're doing. Cooking
Yeah.
is no different. So you put love in there, and also, you know, I'm flexible. I try to be flexible in everything I do. So like recipes are guidelines. You know, you can replace things. You can try whatever you want to do. Whenever I follow a recipe, it's blah. Whenever I look at a recipe and just go, oh, I see what they're trying to do there, and then I just go make something, she ends up loving what that is. So that's kind of what I do. Flexibility and love. That's all you need.
Excellent.
We have a term in this house called Michael-fying. And like so many times, like we'll get food at a restaurant, like a really good restaurant, and we'll bring the food home, and I'll just be like, I'm like, can you like Michael-fy this? And he like does his thing, and then it's phenomenal.
Right.
So-
Wago does that. Like,
Mhm.
there'll be stuff in the fridge, and I'm like, I don't know. And he's just
Yeah.
like,
We've got the poor fridge where there's nothing really in the fridge, but there will be something that is made from the stuff
whatever
that's
he
in the
makes.
fridge.
Great.
Yeah.
For sure.
Speaking
Absolutely.
of things, I think we might have time for maybe one more song. Is that true?
Yes.
And if we were talking about recipes for things, maybe, I know you don't do this one very often, it's kind of a shorty. Maybe Love and Pancakes.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Maybe you'd like to play Love and Pancakes. This is a great
Sure.
song. I sang it for my great niece or my grandniece when I was back in Colorado in February. Loved it. She loved it. It's a great song.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
it's one
your
those ones-
recipes for good things,
There you go. and it's one of those another one. I wrote it in like 5 minutes. Um, the recording of it that we did, I literally turned on the iPad microphone 5 minutes after I wrote the song and recorded it, and that's kind of what we have there. There's a video for it on our channel. We did it for Chad Freeman's show, one of Chad Freeman's shows. He was like, "Do you have any songs for my food and snack show that I'm having coming up?" I do not, but I'll write one. So that's what I came up with. I was like, and how can we write a song about food without making it be about pancakes? Because there's a
So good.
lot of talk about pancakes on our channel.
Awesome. Without further ado, Love and Pancakes.
Get out the bowl, turn on the stove. It's bound to brighten your day. I know it's not always the best way, but today it's pancakes. Love me some pancakes. The grill gets hot, the smell fills the house. Sometimes that's all it takes. It's an act of love, I would do it every day, just to see that smile on your face. Piled high upon our plates, I love me some pancakes. We all love some pancakes. I love me some pancakes. There you go.
Ow!
Ditty about pancakes.
Yeah,
I love me some Michael songs.
for
And
sure.
some Maria songs
Awesome.
too.
Tell
Thank
you
you
what,
so
my friend,
much.
it was super, super great having you here today. I appreciate you, Maria, for doing what you do. We enjoy it as part of our weekly routine and sometimes daily routine. There are multiple channels that we all follow, and right now, just connecting and making connections with other people that are doing the same thing and music adjacent, art, crafts, people who enjoy life and have a kind of a shine. So I'm very, very, very proud to know you, and I'm very grateful that you guys took the time and opportunity to do a recap this year. I mean, quite possibly do another year or maybe some sort of collaborative thing in the future. It'd be a lot of fun.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. Definitely.
we
I
know
love when
that you like
Maria
to
shoots in
travel.
the
Yeah,
scene.
know that you like to travel. Gonna be done building our house here shortly. There's many, many really great places to stay around here, and our total goal is in the next 4, 5, 8, 100 years is to do a music community center. So all of our eggs are in that basket, trying to see what our music community would want if it's feasible to get an actual storefront and warehouse and do that. So there might be a stage to play in the future. Other than that, fun place.
Otherwise, we'll find you a
We'll find
stage to
you.
play. It might not
Yeah,
be
for
ours,
sure.
but we'll
Yeah.
find you a few of them.
Yeah, and there's
Yeah.
many places to play here on island. I'm sure that everybody here would be tickled, and I would be able to help facilitate that. But one step at a time, if that's something you'd like to do.
So your next big thing coming
Absolutely.
up, Michael, is on the 26th, right? Back to that calendar, July
Yeah.
26th. Next big
See
thing to
here.
look for from you.
Can you tell us a little bit about the
Yeah.
26th and maybe the August 4th?
Sure. So one of the things, as we all know now at this point, I love original music. It's my favorite things to do. So outside of helping to run an original show that we put on here, I participate in a lot of other original showcase shows that happen. So on Saturday, this July 26th, I will be participating at a place called Cafe Improv, and it's an original musician showcase. And they do all original. I think they have some dancers and stuff there sometimes as well. So it's to showcase your art and what it is that you do. So I will be there doing about a 20-minute set, I believe, is what is on the docket for that show. So we have that coming up. That's in Princeton, New Jersey. And then on Monday, August 4th, we will be doing Shorewave Productions. Used to be called Jersey Shore Jams. It's my friend Paul Marzano and Kelly. They put this show on. Original artists show up at the Jersey Shore, and we play original music. So it's another highlights for that. They are at a new spot. It's a new location, and they have changed their name to. Yeah, no, sorry, it moved. Shorewave Productions. I had a brain glitch. I almost called them
Sorry.
Jersey Shore Jams twice in a row. Shorewave Productions. They
Cool.
are doing those, always promoting original music, so we will be part of that.
Oh, excellent. 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 And then all this information we could find on your website, correct? The
Absolutely. If you
michaelssongsofficial.com.
go to michaelssongsofficial.com, you can scroll down and you will see that image there, and then we also have a calendar, so you can click on the days of the calendar that you see events, and it will give you more about that event.
Excellent. That kind of cues up. I've got my website, Big Island Tiny Footprint right here.com. Getting a facelift right now from my new IT guy. One of the things I'm going to be including is a page for other YouTube channels to sign up and put their schedules. So anybody who comes to my page would be able to see what you're doing, because what you do is what I like to watch. So all the other different channels like Ale West, Dan Anderson, Gary, Mr.
Smith, there's
Smith,
so many. Valerie
just so many
Black.
Valley Blast, so many people that we enjoy being a part of their lives as well, from afar or close. That's something I like to include on the website. So these two are a great source to go see what local musicians are in your neighborhood. These are great ways to go out and meet people, and you're super inspiring. So I hope that the next time we talk, we'll have more amazing things to talk about. Other than that, we appreciate you for spending time with us today. Is there anything else you would like to add?
Well, I would like to thank you both, one, for being awesome, two, for being interactive, and for inviting us to come and spend some time with you. Show aside, promoting each other aside, we just really love spending time with you and interacting with you and chatting whenever we can.
We feel the same.
Everyone,
Aloha.
pop into
I
the
love
camera
it.
screen one more time for you.
Nah, ditto.
The fly-in. Whoop. I love it. Well, that's right. We love you guys too. We're really thankful to have you in our lives, and we look forward to the future together.
Very much so. Tell you what, we're going to put a bunch of links to all the good stuff we talked about here today. You could always check out Michael Songs on their YouTube channel, or check them out at michaelssongsofficial.com. All of the information is here down below. If you have your iPhone or anything really, take your camera, take a picture of this little QR code, and go find yourself listening to some of the best original music out there. If you have 5 minutes, comment on any video. It helps the algorithm, and it does wonders for original songwriters like ourselves. Thank you for being here today with our interview series. We're going to be doing other interviews with other artists, and check out the channel just to see all sorts of music-related stuff. Thanks for being here today. We're going to play out here with a video made by Michael and Maria. Enjoy your day. Aloha to you. Thank you for being here. Mahalo nui. Aloha.
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 Picture the Talkin celebrating the 100.
Yeah, over 100 shows. This is awesome. Great little comment. Huh?
Let's all sing along.
I love it.
A little pond, yeah.
I have so many more questions.
We'll have to do another one. We'll have to do another
Like, like how many times? Like how far in advance does he pick out his outfit?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Have you named the giraffe?
Yeah, it's Willow.
Find out next time.
Double capo has more questions.
Hey.
Hey. Your shirt is red. Your shirt is blue.
black. Your vest is now gray.
Oh, purple. That's great.
Yeah, the purple. Oh yeah. Whee!
Excellent.
Ah.